disclaimer, this information is only used to joke around and have fun with. This is anything I'm saying right now is not serious. But if you want to go research, do your thing. It's for educational purpose. But anything I'm saying now, me and my producer is just joking. There's nothing what we're talking about is real.
Man, this weather's beautiful.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I said everybody get to pull out their fake winter stuff now.
Yeah, I saw some woman this morning walk down with a full-on winter coat. I was like, hey, come on,
she been holding on.
We're not there yet.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Prolific Mindset Podcast. Hope you guys had a wonderful week enjoying this week. Today's fake winter. Everybody get to bring out their chinchillas, all their Miami fake winter stuff, the boots, the fur coats, the sweater, the hoodie jacket. Because remember, we only going to get winter only for 3 days at max? So please enjoy this 3-day winter fest. Let's enjoy it. If they got Christmas, I understand y'all get mad at me. I understand I might be contradicting. But with this weather, all right, you turn the Christmas lights on. But they better be up already. Not just putting them up, they better be up already. And I know in certain places like Boca Town Center or certain little places, I know in Fort Lauderdale, they got lighting up the tree, and I know the Rockefeller tree and things like that. But this is the time I say, okay, cool, I'll let you slide. It's Christmas. It's a Christmas spirit. But if them Christmas trees ain't up and Elf and Shelf ass ain't out and I don't hear no Mariah Carey, don't you dare do it. Just go ahead and just knock the dust off of all your winter stuff, the fake winter stuff, because man, we ain't got no real winter stuff. Go bring out the chinchilla, your Uggs, your winter hat like the Russian ones, your coats, your hoodies and stuff. You can see I got mine on. I've been waiting to pull this out. I don't think that sucks. I have a boatload of winter stuff I had when I was in NFL, when I was in New England, when I was in Green Bay, where -10 was the best weather that you can possibly get. But now since I'm in Miami and the only clothes we're going to get is 40 to 50 degrees, I'm going to act like I'm cold. Even though I used to live in -10, or if you ever been up north, or you anybody that's from like Indianapolis, Chicago, New York, if you ever hit an Antarctic chill warning, be prepared. Your refrigerator or your deep freezer won't get as cold as that. I remember one time, funny story. I was in Indianapolis and we had practice that week, and they were telling everybody to stay inside. You talking about real cold? They said it was an Antarctic chill warning. First of all, I don't even know what the hell an Antarctic chill warning is. I'm just sitting there like, an Antarctic chill warning. They were like, don't go outside. So we sitting in the house. We turned the heat up to 90. The heater can only go to 71 because it's that cold outside. It was like -35, -45. Our goddamn refrigerator or deep freezers don't even get that goddamn cold. So when I tried to go outside to go to practice, I had to turn my F-350 on. Thank God I got one of those trucks that are built for that winter. I mean, built for that type of weather. So when I saw my other neighbors outside and their car wouldn't even crank, wouldn't even say a word. You're not using, you turn over, you at least see the logo pop. Nah, none of that came. My neighbors looked at me, hey, Rick, nope, got to go to work, can't do it. And thank God I bought it was F-350. And every morning when I used to wake up, during that time, I would try to automatic start it. If it didn't cut on, you had to go outside and turn it on manually and let it run. The one mistake, I'm not from up north, the one mistake I almost made, I didn't realize you can't take hot water and put it so say if your front windshield or something I didn't know, because I'm thinking like, I can put hot water on there and it'll just melt the front windshield. But something in my head said, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me wait till I get in the facility. Even though I had to drive like this with my damn head out the door, wind just slapping me at -5 degrees when I got to the football facility. I asked a few of my team, I said, hey, what happened if I'd have put hot water over on my front windshield? They said it would have bust. They were like, your whole front windshield would have shattered. They were like, you can't do that. So I'm like, what's the easiest way? They were like, you're going to turn the heat on in your car, full blast. But he said, the last thing before you get out that car at night, turn the heat on full blast. So when you crank that truck, only thing it's doing is just blowing heat, because that radiator is built for this type of cold. The trucks we have, I realized the type of trucks we have down here, or vehicles we got south, are not built for the north. The north are not built for the south. And I didn't realize that, because up north, when people bought they 250, 350, they plugged it almost like if it was as if it was a Tesla. But Tesla sucks in weather. But when it comes to cold, I'll tell you that now. Elon, I ain't got nothing against you, baby. You one of the greatest creators. Even though Buddy from the video Ginseng is going to put you to second place. That's just my personal.
You know what I heard? I got to tell you this about the Tesla was that it's great, but if you go over 80, 90, if you try and go 80 or 90 miles an hour, your battery drains 4 times as fast. I was just talking to a guy, and he said to me, he was driving from here to Orlando. It took him 5 hours because he was going 90 miles an hour, and he just was watching the battery go down. But when you go 60, it stays. So it's like...
So the battery have a governor.
Exactly.
So it almost something like a governor. So once you get it
knows.
It knows like, okay, cool. It's going to die out. Even though I'm going to say from up here, it might be 2 hours and 50 something minutes I see on the GPS. But yeah, if it takes you 4 or 5 hours to get your ass to Orlando, that ain't a good car. Especially if you're leaving from this part, like Boca, anything north of Miami. If it takes you 5 hours to get to Orlando, your car sucks.
Even if it drives itself. Sorry. Even if it drives itself.
But once my son got me on the bright line, I was spoiled. I can't drive to Orlando no more. And I hope the bright line start connecting to Tampa, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, because I don't want to drive no more in the state of Florida. Why? And we have this type of transportation that once you get on, you get your first class seats. Brightline do not have first class seats. They're the most uncomfortable ass seats I've ever felt. So when I first got on my first train ride, I'm thinking like, okay, they cozy, they big seats. Man, them seats sit straight up. It felt like a Spirit airline flight where the seats don't only go back 1 inch. Brightline don't go back. It's basically almost straight up. So me and my producer was having a conversation about, conspiracies and things of that sort. I had one theory on one thing. We don't own the United States. Americans do not own the United States. If you go back in history, just realize we don't own it. And what I mean, we don't own it. Every country or every person I don't care if you're from Israel, I don't care if you're from Germany, I don't care if you're from Russia, I don't care if you're from China, you can buy some type of infrastructure here or plant something here. We have countries inside of a country, and that don't make sense. Like, people don't understand Washington, D.C. is not a state. That's its own country. That's its own entity. We have a country somewhere in Arizona, and I think a dude, he created, I don't know how the hell he pulled it off. I got to look it up. Go look it up and look at the countries inside of the United States. And we don't realize that. Us in the United States do not own anything in China. We don't own nothing in Russia. We don't own nothing in North Korea. We don't own anything we don't own nothing in Israel. And we don't even understand that. Yeah, we're good partners, but we don't own no type of infrastructure such as the U.S. Embassy. We don't really own structure outside of this. We don't own the United States. The United States is meant to be sold off. You see this on. So when you go on, let me use a prime example. When you go on any toll road, no American government own the toll road. If you go up in D.C., we don't own the toll road up there. I-95, I mean, not I-95, but with Turnpike down here, we don't own the toll roads. The toll road is owned by some other country. We do not own the United States. The United States is meant to be sold off by parts. People don't even understand. We don't even own Walt Disney World. We don't own nothing. Whatever Walt Disney World touch, we don't own. Everything is owned by the royal family.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is.
Wait, so how did that even, how is this even a foundation of America?
It's true, but America was always meant to be sold off as parts. So when a lot of people get mad, and I don't want to go political, when we're going through, like when we're suffering, like middle class or middle class or lower class people are suffering, and we're giving out, what we just gave Argentina, $4 billion to a country that already bankrupted itself multiple times. We're doing that because we're trying to do deals outside of the country to put money in our pockets. We don't own nothing in the United States. Because think about it. The United States don't own nothing in China. We don't own
$20 billion. So
we get $20 billion.
$20 billion.
We give $20 billion away, but we're taking away the affordable care. We're hiking healthcare. We have homeless people damn near everywhere. Food is high as shit, but when we go to other countries, all the stuff they're going through. And I'm not saying they having a perfect country, but they're not going through what their citizens going through. You go to Dubai, and I understand this probably might be the worst place to even to use that for. Outside of Dubai, yeah, it's a whole little different thing. But we're used to only seeing the Khalifa, all the nice, beautiful places. But we don't own, and we can't own anything in the U.S. We cannot own anything in the U.S. A citizen, unless you're going through the Straw Man Act, and that's a whole nother story. Unless you're going through the Straw Man Act, that's the only way you can actually own anything. Or the Moorish Act, that's the only way you can own anything. But a lot of people don't know those laws. A lot of people don't know those governing rules. We have 3 governments inside the United States that we really don't know about, that we have laws that the everyday American citizen do not know. So when people saying like we're struggling, we're going through this, we're going through that, it's because we don't own the United States. We have no control of the United States. How you buy your home after, say, like an older person that been paying for their home for 30 years, they finally get to pay it. This older person didn't sit their money aside to be able to, I got to keep paying taxes. If you stop paying the taxes, you lose it. But if you go to Senegal, if you go to South America, if you go to Italy, if you go to the Amalfi Coast, if you go to Sicily, when those people buy their houses stay in their family. They ain't got to pay taxes for year on year. They own it. That's why Governor Sanchez is trying to fight a law that he want to take property tax off. Good luck to that, because I don't see that shit ever being taken out of the state of Florida. Property taxes being taken, but we can't own anything. And like I said, every other country can come in the United States and own infrastructure. They can own any type of infrastructure they want. But we, as American people, cannot go in other countries and buy infrastructure. The government can go there and put a military presence. We don't own shit there. We might have a U.S. embassy, but we don't own nothing else there.
So what do we own? Like, what does the United States really own?
The United States just own the rights to selling off parts, just selling us off.
What?
Because think about it. I want you to think about this. Say like in China, and I understand people get mad about how China is moving. China got everything in your house. I guarantee you, at least 90% of the stuff in your house is from China. 90% of your stuff is from China. But notice they won't let certain things in our market, like our cell phones, iPhone. If they actually let the phones that's in China come over here or be in here, it'd be game over. If you realize the iPhone that can actually open and fold and all that, China had that shit like 5 years ago. Or say say affordable cars. They cars, like what you see inside of a Rolls Royce truck is inside of the $30,000 minivan in China. Like the luxury, the features, the material, the works inside there. But notice we can't allow them to come over. There's no Chinese car that can come over here. Even street legal cars. Notice when they bring all that when they have street legal cars over here, the people that like to drift, they only can buy the parts. They can't bring the car full over here. It has to be part. Go ahead.
No, that's interesting. That's a really good point. You're right.
Yeah,
they have to buy the parts, build it. Basically.
That's it. That's all they can do. You can't bring the whole car over here. You can only send my fault. You can only send the parts over here, but you can't send a whole built car over here from China. You can't, for some apparent reason. But they're more affordable. They work better. They got the manpower to put it together. A lot of Chinese people say that the way we supposed to maintenance cars, if we got it from China, we wouldn't do. That's why a lot of markets like the German market or whoever makes Bugatti, whoever makes Volkswagen, whoever makes those cars, they already know why they can hit us across the head for service, because we're not going to service the vehicle the way the vehicle needs to be. High-end vehicle. Say if you go get a Bugatti just an oil change, if I'm not mistaken, is $1,500. A tire on a Bugatti is almost like $5,000 per tire. That's crazy. But when you get cars out of China, and you get cars out of China, they are not that expensive. Certain things are not expensive out of their market if they come in our market. But like I said, we don't own the United States. We sell off the United States as scrap parts, the same way we sold off what made us the powerhouse. What made us the powerhouse? We have factories everywhere. Now the only reason factories are opening up now because they're becoming data centers. Not because the old nuclear reactors need to be working, because that's what's going to power all our AI stuff, like our buildings, the data centers, all the type of infrastructure. That's why they're pouring in billions and billions. That's why everybody who's in the stock market is scared of the AI bubble. But once it pop, man, the shit that's gonna happen is gonna be a downside. And like I said, with Jensen from NVIDIA, right now it's crazy. And as I said again, he's not from America, but the man is carrying the S&P 500 by himself. Tesla, don't get me wrong, Tesla was the big dog at one point. Tesla used to run the market, but NVIDIA runs the market. AMD runs the market. SCMI, if I'm not mistaken, or SMCI, one of those is running our market. The chip maker, Taiwan, hell, if Taiwan wanted to back out right now, they'll make our whole stock market drop. The way America is ran is not in our hands anymore. We even gave away all the rights to other countries and other people. Think about it. All the big dog, besides not Amazon, but think about not Apple. Think about this. NVIDIA, a guy that's from outside of the United States. Tesla, I think Elon's from South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. It's from outside the United States. A lot of the people that run our S&P 500 or have a big piece of it are not people from America. So America sells off its consumers to those people so they can make money. It's a business. It's not personal. It's business. So I get it. That's why when people in America try to sell things off the other market, that's why we're going through tariffs, because we can't sell certain things off. Like the shoes you see in this picture right here, they're not from America. They was made in China. Books that we made are made in China. TVs, our technologies, everything is made in China. That's why China get the capabilities of copying a lot of stuff. But this was another thing when I said we don't own America. The royal family owns Walt Disney World. Think about Walt Disney World sits on every major continent. We got one in Orlando. We got one in Cali. I think it's one in Japan.
I think it's Japan or
Japan,
Tokyo.
And another one is in like England or London somewhere. I think that's the same thing, but it's somewhere there. They have him in all different spots because, what to say?
So we got, so the Hong Kong.
Okay, that's what I mean, Hong Kong.
Shanghai.
Then that's true.
Paris, Tokyo, California, and Orlando.
Mm-hmm. Like, bro, they're on major continents.
It is. You were talking about those beacons and those pyramid. Like, what if that's also something like that way people can communicate across the world or something?
But it is true, because if people don't realize the Sphinx, or what's the name of another pyramid? The Sphinx is another pyramid. This is what so-called Tesla. I don't believe he even actually existed. He's a whole nother reason. I don't believe Tesla existed. And no, because I don't see his family. I don't see no picture of his mom. I don't see no picture of his dad. I don't see your great-great-grandfather. I don't see the people that's here now. I don't believe he actually exists. I believe he was just made up because he was free energy. He was a free energy guy. The same reason people don't understand the Eiffel Tower. You think that shit there for looks. That shit was there because that was the World Fair back in the 1700s. That used to power a whole city. If you ever get a chance, anybody, go type in World Fair and look at how the cities used to look. If you go to Buffalo, New York right now, look trashy as day. Nothing, I'm sorry, people. I ain't trying to take no shots, but Buffalo look horrible. Go look at the World Fair and look what it do. You're telling me monuments that we can't even restructure, can't build again. That's why, think about it. When you look at all these cathedral churches, you ever seen another one built again? Because we can't build it. We don't have the material, or we don't even have the smarts. And people don't understand that. A lot of the structures that was built back then stood longer than what it is. Think about it. You got pyramids still standing from damn BC 8, what all them things, CE, whatever you want to call it, but they're still standing. Let that sink in your head. These dudes built structures, or people they so-called said built structures. I don't believe nobody built the structure, because one stone on the damn pyramid is about big as this whole block. So you telling me I don't care how many slaves you speak of or how many people, ain't nobody gonna put this big ass block on top of this, and you see how big a pyramid is. It's not it. But the three major pyramids sits across, I think it's a I don't know if it's latitude or longitude, it's a certain word. It's 369. All of them sit on the same line. One sits in America, another one sits in Africa, and another one I think sits somewhere south of China or Singapore or something like that. All the major pyramids that we don't speak of sits on the same line. Like people think we got satellites. We don't have satellites. There's no damn satellites up there. The whole world is, let me break this down to you. You know when you walk inside your house, anybody that has Ethernet, the whole world is connected by Ethernet. That's it. The world is not connected by no satellite. Don't hit me with the satellite shit, because you can't have a satellite when you can't go outside the firmament. It's a whole nother story. You already know about the firmament story.
So the 3 Great Pyramids of Giza in
Thank you.
Giza,
That's what it is.
In Egypt, Pyramid. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher these. Khufu, Pyramid Kafé, and Pyramid Menkaure do not cross each other, but they are aligned along the right-hand edge of their bases, with their side running precisely east, west, and north and south. That's pretty crazy that that's pretty crazy how they align like that. How they make that's crazy.
Think about that. Somebody on 3 different things. Somehow you figured this shit out. Somebody all the way on a whole other continent figured out, hey, yo, put it to the left, to the right.
Yeah, that's crazy. To the left.
We right here, baby. We right here. It's, bro, our world run off free energy. This world is supposed to be ran off free energy. And the higher ups learned how to make sure they put our asses inside of a box. Like I said, when you look at the Eiffel Tower was not built for beauty. It was built because it was the high-powered energy. Think about any structure that sits that high in the sky can be ran off free energy. It doesn't need to run off. It doesn't need to be ran off a city. Think about it. When you're at home, why you think if you turned your electric box off, that electric meter, why you think you'll see in the state of Florida FP&L pop up in 5 seconds? Hey, hold up, time out. Why the meter off? You know why the meter off? Because they're trying to figure out, do you understand how to have free energy? All you just need in this is disclaimer. This information is only used to joke around and have fun with. This is anything I'm saying right now is not serious. But if you want to go research, do your thing. It's for educational purpose. But anything I'm saying now, me and my producer is just joking. There's nothing what we're talking about is real. But back to what I was saying. If you see all the highest structure, on top of it, if you realize all the material is made out of copper, anytime free energy needed to be made, is made out of copper. If people realize if you get on top of the Eiffel Tower, it's made out of copper. If those pyramids that he just spoke of, the top of the pyramid was made out of copper, some type of gold or copper, because it was free energy. People, it's crazy. I just was looking at, they had a tree called, I think, the Devil's Eye. And now people use the same technology to look under the pyramids to see all those pillars. And they looked inside of it, and guess what they see inside of it? A whole city on the inside of a tree. Where you think they get the tree of life from? At Animal Kingdom. When you notice you don't have to stand outside the tree of life. You can actually walk inside. And when you walk inside, what it is, you can go see this move. You can go see this. You can see this all inside the tree. Nothing under the sun is new. All we doing is just repeating shit over and over and over. It's just because we try to erase, the higher ups try to erase history so you can't figure out what's going on. I knew something was wrong when you can't tell me what Lemuria is, when you can't tell me where Menmu is, when you can't tell me where Atlantis once was, you can't tell me where, what's another place? I've been looking up so many hidden cities. A lot of the biggest cities and a lot of the biggest structures are underwater because the higher ups made it happen. The reason why I don't believe in weather anymore, because if you tell me that Dubai is hosting the Winter Olympics, if that don't make you look at the world a lot different, I don't know what I can tell you. Dubai hosting the Winter Olympics. Do you not know how hot Dubai is to host the Winter Olympics? You're telling me one of the storms that tore up, the state of North Carolina or Tennessee, you telling me a storm came from South Florida, missed us, thank God it's keep missing Miami. So happily keep missing Miami. I wonder where all the tech gurus and billionaires been going lately and been buying all the land. Miami, but for some reason, we used to get our ass slapped with hurricanes left to right. But all of a sudden now, we keep dodging them motherfuckers. Somehow they just not hitting. But storm come up on the west of Florida, hits South Georgia, somehow missed South Carolina, geography in no way, shape, form, or fashion, I don't understand, hit North Carolina, spent the block, hit Tennessee, but it hit a town that was in North Carolina that hold lithium, I think uranium or lithium. they had a factory there, and the people in that town didn't want to move out because people in the country, you live there forever, you pass that down. But the people in the town didn't want to leave. So they said, okay, cool, we're gonna do a natural disaster. Same way it was a spot in Texas or Oklahoma. At 1 minute, if you see on the video, it shows on the video, the town calm and peaceful. Out of nowhere, you telling me the damn water just leveled up. You didn't even see houses no more. And they said as long as everybody that had been there from the 1800s to early 1900s, 1950s, they never seen something like this. So how are towns in the United States are having these mega weather issues? How? We don't control weather. They control weather. If they need something to happen, okay, we can't go in there and we can't kill them.
You know
we can't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know what else they control that
What?
we cannot see?
What?
Is the irrigation system. The way water goes. Like, what if they just plugged the tunnels like that water goes through?
They do.
Right? Like
but they can't. But now think of it. Billionaires are buying water rights. They don't want nothing else. They want water rights. Because if I can shut off water, imagine what I can control. California.
For sure. Yeah.
California, the fire. You telling me this fire made it all the way up through this whole spot, AKA where they supposed to build the first AI city. But hey, like I said, just saying this for joke, but they supposed to build the first AI city so where everything was burnt at, but somebody outside, that's why the government hurried and bought TikTok. Because if you realize a lot of the algorithm, a lot of the stuff that they used to can hide, they can't, because all somebody gonna do is this. Before they call the goddamn police, before they call some type of authority, hold on, let me videotape this. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna call somebody. People are videotaping everything. So it's nothing that the government can't hide anything because everything is exposed. So if somebody was outside and they were trying to use their water hose, but the water wouldn't put out that fire because the fire wasn't natural. The fire burnt shit that we thought fire couldn't burn. It was burning through houses, everything. If you went through that shit, it burned down structures all throughout the area. Now all of a sudden, you telling me billionaires are going there buying up burnt property? Why? Bro, everything that happens in front of you happens. I'm gonna tell you, it's the galactic continental rule. Before it happens to humans, it has to be shown to humans. I don't care if it's in a movie. I don't care if it's on your phone. I don't care if it's on the Instagram. It has to be shown to you first. Think about it. I want you to think for a second. Look at iRobot. How many things on iRobot is literally in front of you right now?
Did you just see that they are just released the army of AI bots?
Oh no. Like real bots, like robots?
People. They just released I'll try and pull it up, but yeah, they just released, not the army, but it's basically now these AI bots you can buy and they come and do chores in your house. But
I don't want that.
Dude,
See,
no, I don't want that.
I'm not gonna sit in there with something in the house and think about it. They're trying to make it so human-like. They're trying to make it so human-like.
On the video, they had to cut the prosthetic leg so that they could see that it was a robot because it was walking so human-like, and the people were like, "That's a human."
Remember, I don't know if anybody look at the NFL game. If you look at the Rams play, the LA Rams, they used to have these. I think it was 3 or 4 robots just sitting in the game, and they're just looking everywhere. They're taking the information. They're trying to see how humans act. It's the same way as AI. It's the same way as AI videos. You won't be able to tell a Sono video in a minute because it is weird. They haven't figured out how to master it because sometimes when you look at those videos, say if it's a car, the tire will be too much turned in or a person's hand will be sticking through somebody or somebody will turn to something like that. But when they finally can master how to make that video crisp, the hardest thing gonna be is trying to figure out, is that a real video or not? So now they're making robots that you can't even tell. They're trying to make it so human-like as possible, from the skin to the eyes, the way it moves, the way it functions and it talks. They're trying to do it. Think about, I want you to look at all the movies that have ever been made, that been the best. The movies, ain't nobody that goddamn smart underneath this sun to come up with a movie just out of, oh, damn, bro, I just came out with a dope movie. I just came out with a good idea, this and that. The movie already been made before, and it already happened before. When COVID happened, How many old Netflix movies they kept showing people, hey, watch this movie, look at this movie. But it's all funny, back in 92 and 94, all these movies that they said that was going to happen, everything on the movie happened. They're just trying to make you conditioned to when it happened, you'd be like, oh shit, I already know what's going to happen. Like, but it's weird that now I got a robot that can possibly sit his ass here and hold a whole conversation with it. And because of our condition as people, we're going to want those robots. We're going to want companionship. We're going to want somebody to talk to. You're going to want somebody who you can tailor-made. They love me. They like me and everything. And not at one given point, you realize this is a fucking robot. This robot can malfunction on you. Same way on our robot, it can malfunction on you. Now you want to go out for a walk. Now you ain't going out for a walk. They locking the house. They locking doors. Your ass going to be sitting down. Everything that happens on movies are in real life. People think Matrix is a movie. It's not a movie. It is a goddamn, it is a documentary. Same thing as the movie Tron. Tron 2. Any Tron you look at, Tron 1, I love the movie. Make sure you go see it in IMAX. Don't go see that shit in no regular movie there. You have to see it in IMAX. But Tron is about what's going on right now in front of our faces. But we're looking at it as a movie. We're thinking like, oh, okay, shit. This how it goes. Same thing as Avatar. Avatar is not just a movie. That's a documentary. All those movies. Even, I'm going to use prime example, Marvel. Everybody you think all these just characters just made up all out of the blue. These are not made up characters. These characters are real. We just can't see them. We just don't see them. It's just like the same way when people think that this globe we sit on, and I don't believe in the globe shit because you can't just make me understand. We're sitting on this globe, but somehow we keep telling people we have UFOs coming from Mars and shit. We have lands of Mars on the other side of the ice wall. Go look at Operation Hot Jump. That'll tell you everything I'm telling you right now. Operation Hot Jump on YouTube or anything. But we keep talking about this. There's just beings that's coming across our world to get across to the next side of the world, to get to Asgard. People think Asgard is just off Marvel. No, that's lands. People think Mars, every time they keep going to the desert, recording this damn shit, oh man, it's Mars. They're only out in Arizona in the desert. They're only in Area 51 because nobody can go to Area 51. Nobody can go to the Grand Canyon. And think about it. Ask yourself, why can't you go to the Grand Canyon? Why can't a drone go over the Grand Canyon? Why can nobody enter the Grand Canyon? We can just stand on top of the shit. Hey, take a picture of me. I want to see what's inside the Grand Canyon. But because I know the Smithsonian paid for an explorer to go down there and look. After that, we can't even go down there no more. We on top of it. We can't see it. Now. People don't understand that the artifacts that we have in this world, we don't have no access to. Think about all the stuff you don't have access to. You have to believe somebody. They say, hey man, it's a space out there. We can't go to space. So you gonna believe the shit. You gonna believe it.
That is true.
People don't even understand. People don't understand the reason why the second reason why they came up with NASA is because when they finally tried to go to the depths beyond the Mariana Trench, and they seen a megalodon, they asked to stay away from the bottom of the ocean. After that, hey, we gonna go to space, baby. We gonna tell you about the galaxies. We gonna tell you about the Orion's belt. We gonna tell you about all that shit. But they can't tell us about the ocean because we only explored 5 to 10% of the ocean. Why? Tell me why you like exploring all this other shit, but you won't explore the ocean. And people don't understand. At the deepest depths, a lot of explorers who wasn't funded by the government took their chance and went underneath the waters and went to the depths beyond the Mariana Trench. If you know, I think the Khalifa is the tallest building in the world, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
In Dubai, you can put 2 Khalifas on top of each other and you still will not touch the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Like, we have depths that's deeper than that. It was just like once upon a time, they had a story about these 3 or 4 billionaires.
Yes, the Khalifa, 2,717.
So just imagine if you put 2 of those buildings on top of each other. Or I'd make it more easy. Imagine if you drive from here to Orlando. That's how deep the depths is in the Mariana Trench.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a good perspective right there.
But people don't understand when we come out.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Now it makes you think, how deep is the Mariana Trench?
Wow.
And we keep getting all
But
these.
do we find the bottom of it? Have we found the bottom, or is there?
Oh
Or
no,
is there a bottom?
we have found the bottom. We just can't penetrate to go beyond that cloud. Like it's a lake at the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let that sink in your head. Like SpongeBob, there's a lake at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. You can't see nothing because once you hit the bottom, all lights are out. So that's why a lot of people made customized submarines so they can go down there. The last guy that went down there and showed us that it was a lake down there, so happenly, his helicopter crashed. Wonder how the hell that happened. Just had fun. He had it. Once he did an interview and told everybody that we have been to the depths. And when they tried the submarine to go down on it, it just kept pushing them back up. And then when they did it back in 1964, the Army tried to go down there. They saw a creature, aka the megalodon. The same way we look at Jaws and shit, Jaws ain't big. They lied to us and told us the great white was big. Them shits are not big.
Oh no.
A megalodon can swallow a great white if it wanted to.
Whole.
But a megalodon has to stay at the depths of the Mariana Trench. That's why when you hear them sometimes saying, oh, it's the end of the world, end of this, because they're seeing creatures that shouldn't even, they're seeing creatures they never studied, or they're seeing creatures, if we see this shit here, something's wrong. Like right now, thinking somewhere in Russia, there's a tiger, look like a tiger/panther is white. I don't know the exact name of it. It's certain animals that are coming back out, and we don't know what to say for it. Scientists are saying like, hey man, this might be the end of the world. It's never going to be the end of the world. What people don't understand is when they told us as kids, oh, we had the Great Flood. You know how many resets we had to this world? It wasn't the one when you open the Bible and it says anything, none against Bible-based people. I went to church and love y'all too. But when y'all always keep thinking like, oh, it's the Great Flood, Noah Ark and all that, do you not realize that probably was one of the 6 resets that happened in the world? The Great Flood, how you think that happened back in the 1800s? How do you think the 1920 Great Floods? All our structures and all our history is underwater or either underneath us. When we have explorers going out there talking, oh, we're finding pyramids, we're finding this. Let's break this down to you either. If you go to Egypt, there's a city called Memphis. You go to Memphis, there's a city called Egypt. You got the Nile River in Africa. The Mississippi River is the Nile River in the United States. If you look at the East Coast of the United States, and you ever look like at a picture where all the lights at, notice all on that's on the West Coast. The East Coast. When you go to the West Coast, it looks just like a desert. It's all desert. That's Egypt. Everything that everybody keeps saying we all started in Africa, we did not start in Africa. We started in America. All the history that we need to know. The most pyramids in the world are in America. The biggest pyramids in the world are underneath the water because we had to get rid of a lot of the history, or either they tried to burn a lot of those structures down. Like the Great Pyramid of Giza, it's all set on the same coordinates. They was trying to destroy those, but they couldn't do it. Napoleon tried to destroy it. He couldn't do it. The great Caesar tried to find a way to destroy it. He couldn't do it. So they had to leave those structures and come up with a whole nother story about why this is happening and what's going on. People, you got to go look up history because history is where everything we need to know. Don't start with history in this era. Go back in time. We have too much technology that tells you history that make you dig to the point. It's a reason why they say you want to go down the rabbit hole. Don't get me wrong. If you go down the rabbit hole and you're not prepared to be open-minded, your whole world going to turn upside down. Everything's going to be destroyed if you don't realize that history is where everything we need. Why you think the Vatican is so big? Why you think we can't go underneath the Vatican? People don't even realize, dog, we have tunnel systems. People don't realize we have cities underneath our feet. If you go to New York, them old subways, it's the reason why they won't allow us to go down to them old subways. It's the reason why a lot of those old subways stop. Even if you go to London, they got so many subways that go in so many different directions that they won't allow people. So if you go like on TikTok, or if you go on like YouTube, and depending what you type in, you can see a lot of these cities that's underneath the ground that people don't believe in. Like we have cities underneath our feet, deep down underneath our feet.
Crazy.
It
Crazy,
is.
Man.
But I always tell people, I don't like normal people. I like crazy people. Crazy to me is normal. Normal to me is crazy.
Yeah.
Because those type of people understand. Like when people try to tell you, people think you're crazy because you hear a voice. But I bet every time that you're sitting in the house and you chilling and you hear like a voice come out of nowhere, like, hey, yo, go do this. Why don't you call it crazy? Why do you get up and go do it? Say like when you forget something, you tearing up a whole damn house to look for something, and out of nowhere something said, it was right here. It says it once. It doesn't say it loud or anything like that. It's the reason why we have frequency. It's the reason why we have a root chakra. It's the reason why we have a third eye. People think that is crazy. People think that is religion. People think that is science. No, that's a part of the earth. You telling me, and this how I really felt, what made me start getting into all this, you telling me Earth, this so-called round ball, was different than Mars, Venus, Pluto, all these shits in this galactic, everything in this galaxy. All of a sudden, we're just the special ones that have humans. We're the special ones that have we're no different. This surface is no different than any other surface that's in the world. It's not. We think we're different because somebody taught us our whole life. Somebody told you your whole life that this happened. Oh, people went to space. People did a moonwalk. If you're telling me somebody walked on the moon, we actually caught receptions from here to that goddamn moon. But every time I try to call somebody, it's a goddamn dead spot on this phone. But somehow you telling me somebody had the best signal in the world to come from the moon, and my call dropped when I'm in a dead spot. Come on, man. It's too much. Like, people don't even understand California wasn't even a part of the United States back in the 1500s. Go look at them old maps, the 1400, the 1500, the 1600. California was an island. California wasn't even part of the United States. People go look this up. Go research it. Go do this. Just one day you have the free time, you're not doing anything. Go do the research on a lot of the stuff I'm talking about. It's there. I'm telling you. I put up one post about this, and now let me be so technical and detailed because people are missing information. If you left California and you had to go to Africa, you would never go over the Atlantic Ocean. When you look at the monitor, do not listen to the pilot. You're going to fly over Cali, you're going to fly over Canada, and then the next place you're going to run into is either Europe or either Russia. You would never run over in it. Why? Because it's this. This is our lands. That's it. Our lands ain't like this, like a globe. No, our lands are like this. Yes, I'm a flat earth person theory. Yes, I am. So it's like this. The only way you're going to understand what I'm saying, you're going to have to travel. There's no way I'm going to be able to explain this to you and you don't travel. When you go on the plane, start paying attention to the monitor. Don't pay attention to the pilot. Look at the monitor. And if you're going across like you're so-called going across the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific, look at the monitor. If you don't fall asleep, because you know them some long-ass flights, depending on where you're going. You're going to Australia, if you're going to Singapore, you're going to Fiji, anything of that, make sure you look at the screen. A lot of stuff that you want to learn about the United States or this world, you got to go do the research. And if you don't go to do the research, what I'm saying right now, you're gonna go against everything I'm saying. And I want you to go against it, but I bet you won't go research it. Bet you that. Go look it up. TikTok. Go to the library if they even still have libraries, because I see they switching out. Go to the library. Go to the encyclopedia that. Take your ass all the way in the back of the library that nobody goes to. I know college libraries got this, because when I went to LSU, it was like this. Go back there and do the research. But I ain't going to take y'all down the rabbit hole no more. I gave you enough information. So please enjoy it. And also, respect November. Mariah Carey, all other stuff, just give us a few more weeks. Just give it to after Thanksgiving, and we'll be all right. But I thank you guys for tuning in today, listening to me, having a good time. Can't wait for next week. I got a guest coming in. I'm not going to say who. We got a guest coming in, and we're going to have an enjoyable time. We're going to learn some things. I'm going to give you a tip. It's going to be about business in some type of way. I'm not saying what, but it's going to be in some type of way. But I hope you guys enjoy the week. Be safe, be blessed, be healthy. Teachers, keep doing your thing. You're building up America. You're making the next doctor, the next attorney, the next senator. Keep doing what you're doing. It's never a day we don't go without appreciation. Without you teaching us, where would American kids be today? So I thank you, man. You guys have a great day. Love you.